Good evening. I'm your host, Stella O, and welcome to Becoming Stella O. Now, thank you for joining us. You could be anywhere else, but you are here with me. We're here together, okay? We're not just here with me. We're here together so we can have this conversation together as a family. So if you haven't hit the notification, please do subscribe. We are also on YouTube, okay? Anyone who doesn't have access to the podcast, we are also on YouTube as well. My people who are social medias gurus, we are also on Instagram, Facebook, and yeah, I think I've covered it all, right? Okay, so you can search me as Becoming Stella O, and this is just a journey of me becoming. We're all becoming in this journey. So today's topic is actually something that it was like a pin. I was driving and I was like, okay, what are we going to talk about today? And I just like going with the flow. I don't like to think too much when it comes to these conversations because I feel like I want to be as transparent and natural to everybody. If I stumble on my words, I stumble on my words. And what occurred to me is that purpose just kept on coming out, you know. I remember when I used to struggle with the word purpose. So what is purpose? And what is your purpose in this life? Have you sat down and thought about what is my purpose in this life? I've thought about it many and many times. And I remember watching the Oprah Winfrey Show back in the days. And this was late 90s, early 2000s. And it used to come on at 4 p.m. Central Time. And I remember Oprah Winfrey was answering a question. And I'm taking it out of context. And she was saying, when you find something that you love to do, whether you get paid or not, that is your purpose. Because the money will come. And I've heard that from multiple people who have become successful. Now, success means different for different people. And for me, I mean success as in they just have a peace about them that it doesn't matter, rain or shine, they are happy what they do, whether they get paid or not, not getting paid. And she said, I'll be doing this even though I didn't have the Oprah Winfrey Show. And that always stuck with me. It always stuck with me. And I've always remembered that. And it kind of like not I wouldn't say envy is a harsh word. I would always be not even jealous. I would always be, I want what that person has. But you can't want somebody else's purpose, because I looked up the definition like just really quick right now. And the definition of purpose is the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. So we exist for a reason. And what is your reason? So Stella exists for a reason. And what is my reason? That's a question I've always asked myself until now. And I didn't really realize that, I really realized that I know my purpose now. I know my purpose is to tell my story, is to share my story, is to help other women who have struggled, through motherhood, singlehood, being a single parent, abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, death, the trauma, the depression, the joy, the happiness. My story is to help others know that there's more to life than life itself. It's like I had to keep living to realize there's more to life. And if you're continuously living in your past, you will never get to your purpose. See, my past has defined who I am today by me overcoming a lot of the things, but also my past has also shaped me to me becoming the woman who I am. There are things that I tolerated that I will not tolerate today. There are things that I accepted that I will not accept today. It doesn't mean that you are a difficult person. It just means that you know your worth. You know what your purpose is, what you're created to do. Me actually being in a certain group of people does not help me, does not center me, does not make me think properly. Me being more in the Word of God gives me more of a purpose. It shapes me, it encourages me. And I realize that there are certain things I just will not entertain. Now, the only person who can answer that is yourself. For me, it took 20 years, 2 decades, to find my purpose. Some people find their purpose at a young age. Some people know exactly what they're supposed to do at a young age. And I look at those people and I'm like, wow, you are really special. Because there are people in life that go to their graves without fulfilling their purpose. And for me, with losing my loved ones, and just losing, it's like I was losing my identity. It really took me through a low place, a dark place, a lonely place. And when you're there, you cannot find your purpose when there's no light. You can't. You can't see your way out. You can't see your path. And for people who are in, I've been in that place. I've been in a dark place. I've been in a very low place. But for me, it's death that did it for me. And before the death, I would say I was not far from my purpose, but I wasn't near my purpose. The death that I actually experienced in my life has added to my purpose. And now I can actually sit there and be encouraged and be grateful, not because I encountered the deaths in my family personally that affected me in a negative way, but getting out of it helped me understand how strong I was, helped me understand there's more to life, because I'm living, the other person isn't living. And by me living in that dark place where that person doesn't exist anymore was also deteriorating me mentally, spiritually, and physically. And for me as well, just to look at purpose also in a different way. I was a teenage mother. I became a teenage mother. And statistically speaking, society shunned me. because I was a teenage mother. My mother never did, but the society did. And even where I'm at right now, I'm not even supposed to be in the place that I'm supposed to be as a teenage mother. So statistically, if you're stuck in what this world will put you in, you can also suppress your purpose because of society, because of what, oh, I'm this age, or I didn't do it in this order. Let me tell you something. The people you think are living a perfect life, they have things that happen to them. And I've seen this comparison of life, a competition. I have never been that person, but it doesn't negate that others are looking at other people as a comparison. And when you do that, you're never going to find your purpose because you're running or you're measuring. I wouldn't even say measuring your purpose. You're measuring your time capsule with somebody else's. An example is, I'm a woman. When I was, of course, as a teenage mother, a lot of people in my age were not teenage mothers. They were preparing for college, going to college, having their degrees, graduating. At the time, 28, 29, guess what was happening? Everybody was getting engaged. Everybody was getting married before that 30, before 30 was knocking at the door. And for me, that is a society purpose. That's like a conditional. And when you put a conditional or a time capsule on it, it negates, it erases. That's not even a purpose. That's you living up to someone else's goal. Why do you have to be 30 and get married? Why? I'm still yet to get that answer from somebody. Why do women feel like they are pressured to get married at 30? Please tell me. And many of those marriages, I wouldn't say all, but many are not married today. So you're running after someone else's purpose that didn't even work. And I feel like with that comes with insecurities, that comes with not really knowing yourself. You're not going to know yourself. Everybody knows who they are at different times. Some people are still knowing themselves. I believe everybody doesn't really know themselves fully. I think you know yourself as much, but we're still growing. Every day that we have in this life, we're always growing, learning new things, maturing. So you become a different person as life continues. Things happen to you. You're able to tolerate certain things. You're able to work through certain things. You may have anger issues. You may be an enabler. You may be too nice. It's not always negative. Sometimes you even being nice, people may take advantage of you. You just have to find a balance. I feel like in life itself, you're not an island on your own. So you are trying to find your own purpose in this world that you don't live alone. And that's very difficult because I'm trying to find my purpose as an individual, but then I become a teenage mother. Then I'm trying to find purpose and I don't even know, okay, this is something new. You don't go to school to learn how to become a mother. You don't go to school to learn how to become a wife. Even when you are raised in a two-parent household, I was raised in a two-parent household. I was raised in a household that both my parents had PhDs, very well educated, but those things do not prepare you for life itself. Life is hard. There's what university out there prepares you for marriage? What college and what university prepares you for when you have this baby? You can read as many books you want to. I read so many books before I delivered my first child. The reality hits when that child comes into the world. It is different. And that's why you have a lot of women who are in shock. And it's that depression that hits after you have a child, and then you're newlywed, and then you have a child. That's like a lot. Expectations of being a wife, expectations of making sure that your marriage is together, your family is together. Just as a woman, I'm speaking of a woman, then you have this child, then you have a child you brought into the world, you want to be a good mother, and you have forgotten to put yourself as a priority, and then you lose yourself. Me being a mother, my children, I have 2 adult children, and my son, he'll be in this country, 18 or older, you're an adult. So he'll be an adult next year. So I'll have 3 adult children next year. But has it been an easy journey? No. Have I had my lows? Yes. Have I had my struggles? Yes. But have I had my joys? Most definitely. I am grateful for the challenges. I'm grateful for the struggles, because I know what I'm able to tolerate and not tolerate. Motherhood is sweet, as they say it. It's so sweet. It's kind of like sweet and sour. You know the candy, sweet and sour. Oh, geez, motherhood. But motherhood will teach you unconditional love. I will say that. It teaches you that unconditional love. You know, when they say, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Unconditional love. Motherhood will teach you that. Yeah, motherhood will teach you that. But motherhood will also, it will also make you lose yourself if you're not careful. I was there. You, as a child comes out, the mother is responsible. You have to feed the child, bathe the child, clothe the child, teach the child, hold the child, console the child, make sure that they're learning, take them to the doctor. It's a lot of pressure on a mother, even when you're in a 2-parent household. And when that continues for the first few months, the first few months are hard. I will say the first week, those days, that was the hardest time in my life. I've been through a whole lot. But that was when I just put on, I went to war. I put on my gear. And I was like dressed up for battle, because it is hard. But it pushes you to the edge of, you can do it. It really shows you, it's resilient. It shows you how much you can take Us women, we're strong. We are. We have to give ourselves credit. We are very strong. We have to deal with things emotionally as a mother. We have to deal with a lot emotionally and put our own emotions aside to take care of a new life, a new person, your child. And at times you have to remind yourself, and that's what I didn't do as a new mother. I was a good mother. I am a good mother. But I prioritized motherhood so high that it surpassed even prioritizing me. That's where the problem comes. Knowing your purpose as a mother is very essential. But knowing your purpose as a mother, as yourself as a mother, is very difficult. Because all those things, you can't ignore your child, you can't do, and you still have to find yourself within all of that. That's a lot. Being a student, you just graduated, you're trying to find out what major should I do, what major should I not do, what are the expectations, what are this, what are that. You know, in the African culture, I'm Kenyan, there's certain expectations. Graduate, education is essential, it's super important. That was important. That's important in my family lineage. I come from a lineage that has PhDs and multiple PhDs. Ask me if I have a PhD. I do not. So I really took a different route in my family. But my family, let me take it back. In the African culture, let me continue. There's a certain expectation. And it's like your purpose is built around that. You think that type of expectation. School, education, college, degree, then family, then get married, then child, then family. Complete, perfect, perfection. It doesn't happen like that. It's so calculated, and when you have something like that that's calculated, it takes away the purpose of what you're created to do. Because purpose means the reason in which something is done or created, or for something of which something exists. So you're existing for what? Maybe you're not meant to be a teacher or a doctor. Or maybe you're not meant to get married until you're 40 and not 30. Why do we put these expectations on people, on our family members, on our children? Does it help them? Would it be where if society or family didn't put these expectations on their loved ones, or just people in general, women? I feel like with women, there are many expectations, and it's very unfair. That does not help us reach our purpose in life. A woman, you have to educate. Like now, educated, smart, beautiful, certain size. You know, you have so many. We are created differently, different shapes, but the expectations of how you physically look is ridiculous. And you wonder why there are many women who have a lot of self-esteem issues with their image, and they go and they do all these augmentations and alterations to their body to the point of where they're willing to risk their own life because of the expectations of this world and rushing to get married when maybe the individual is not even ready to be a wife. The numbers of divorce is high, or being in an unhappy relationship because you're too embarrassed to leave because of the expectations and the stigma of maybe cultural, or just maybe you don't want to be part of statistics. It's a lot being a woman. It's a lot. I hope my sisters there, don't matter, my sisters there, whatever color, race, understand how important they are. Live in your own truth. If you're good at something, do it. We're all good at something. We're all created to do something. You may have beautiful hair. You may have beautiful hair that I can't have that type of grade of hair. You may be able to have a talent that others don't. And that purpose that you have teaching, or everybody has a reason why they exist. You may be able to help others. What is Stella's reason to exist? What is your reason to exist? For me, I've realized that talking to others about my story, it helps them. I used to be quiet, don't want to talk about it. And by me not talking about it was also pulling me down, taking me back, holding me back. And I just had to break through that ceiling and say, you know what? I don't care. And it wasn't that I feared, it's just I'm a private person, and I didn't think nobody cared because of society and teenage mother. And I've been there. I've been there where I feel like nobody cares. And the most important thing I have learned for myself in finding my purpose in life is loving myself. It all starts with loving who you are and putting yourself as a priority to where it doesn't damage others. Like if you're a mother, prioritize your way that it will still make you be a great mother. If you are a profession, prioritize you. If you need to spend time alone, 30 minutes, reading, meditating, singing, I don't know, find something that gives you peace, that no one can take away from you, that makes you happy. Like I like to garden. I'm yet to meet somebody who likes to, but that's what makes me happy. I like to garden. I like to see things grow. I like to grow my cucumbers and squash and watermelon. I like to do that. I love it. Rain or shine, I like to do it. Find something that makes you happy, that's self-love, that pours into you. Me spending time with God, that I have joy. Me having my alone time, I have joy in that place. And you have to find that for you. So let me know what your purpose is. We can continue this conversation. I don't know, part 2. I have no idea, but I just feel like I want that for others too. I'm like, wow, it took me 2 decades, and it takes time. It's okay. I'm not running a race. I'm not running behind anyone to find out my purpose. But my purpose, a lot of my pain has helped me in my purpose. So I can now smile. I can now be okay with talking about my past and the struggles with my head up, with not feeling low or wanting to go ahead and shut down. You're important, and you have to say that to yourself, that you are important. You have a reason to be here, and you have a reason to exist. Once you say that, you live by that, I'm telling you, you will know, you will find yourself not even knowing that you know your purpose. And you'll be driving like me, and I say, man, I found out my purpose. This is nice. This is sweet.